perfume in the hallway, like you were coming back upstairs. Your glass was waiting by the window, your shadow lingered everywhere. The rain kept drawing down the skyline, the piano played below, and I stood there beside your suitcase, too proud to ask you not to go. You held the silence like an answer. I held my heart behind a smile. We had one more night between us, but goodbye had stayed a while. You left your perfume in the hallway, and your goodbye inside this room. You said love should not need begging, but I learned that far too soon. Now every midnight elevator brings your memory to my door. You left your perfume in the hallway, but you do not live here anymore. The chandelier was softly fading across your dark burgundy dress. You asked me if I still believed us. I gave you silence, nothing less. There were 1,000 honest answers waiting underneath my pride, but I watched the closing doors between us and let the moment pass me by. You did not ask for grand forever. You only asked me to be true, but I was busy looking fearless while I was slowly losing you. You left your perfume in the hallway, and your goodbye inside this room. You said love should not need begging, but I learned that far too soon. Now every midnight elevator brings your memory to my door. You left your perfume in the hallway, but you do not live here empty chair beside the table. May the whole room speak your name. I found the note beneath the candle, folded twice and written slow. You said I loved you without leaving, until you taught me how to go. I read those words until the daylight turned the gold to quiet gray. Some hearts break without a warning, some just slowly walk away. You left your perfume in the hallway, and your goodbye to carry on. Your goodbye inside this room. You said love should not need begging. Now I know you spoke the truth. When every midnight elevator brings your memory to my door, I will thank you for the love you gave me, though you do not live here anymore. You left your perfume in the hallway like a rose after the rain. And though the room may lose your fragrance, I will never love the same. No, I will never love the same. The glass is gone from by the window. The suitcase is not there. But sometimes when the night turns quiet, I still feel you on the stairs. You left your perfume in the hallway. You left your perfume there. Still there, after all this time. You left your perfume in the hallway. You left your perfume in the hallway, like you were coming back upstairs. Your glass was waiting by the window. Your shadow lingered everywhere. The rain kept drawing down the skyline. The piano played below, and I stood there beside your suitcase, too proud to ask. The elevator stopped on our floor, though no one pressed the light. The doors opened into the hallway at 1:15 For one breath I thought you were standing in that coat you used to wear, with the rain caught softly on your shoulders, and that perfume in the air. But the hallway stayed empty, and the doors began to close. Still my heart stepped out to meet you, like it did so long ago. The elevator stopped on our floor, and I almost called your name. For a moment all the years disappeared, and nothing had ever changed. I could hear your keys beside the door. I could feel you coming home. The elevator stopped on our floor, but I was still alone. There was music from the ballroom, a slow piano through the wall, the kind we heard that first December when you danced with me until dawn. You laughed beneath the chandelier light with your hand inside of mine, and I believed that love could keep us safe from distance, pride, and time. We were younger than our silence. We were certain love would stay. We never knew a heart could leave you long before it walks away. The elevator stopped on our floor, and I almost called your name. For a moment all the years disappeared. changed. I could hear your keys beside the door. I could feel you coming home. The elevator stopped on our floor, but I was still alone. I remember Sunday mornings, coffee cooling by the bed. You would open all the curtains while I listened to the rain. You said a room should hold some daylight, even when the sky was gray. I did not know you meant our loving, or how soon you would walk away. Now the windows face the city, and the morning enters slow, but the light cannot explain to me why I could not let you know. The elevator stopped on our floor, and I almost called your name. For a moment all the years disappeared, and nothing had ever changed. I could hear your keys beside the door. I could feel you coming home. The elevator stopped on our floor, but I was still alone. Maybe somewhere in another room you heard that same soft sound. Maybe you looked toward a doorway and felt the whole world turn around. Maybe memory is a building where every heart still keeps a key, and every floor we thought we left behind waits quietly for you and me. The doors remained open longer than they ever had before, as if the night itself was asking what I was still waiting for. So I walked into the hallway where your shadow used to fall, and I touched the faded number still hanging by the wall. Then the doors closed behind me, and the silence settled in. Some memories do not need permission to take you back again. The elevator stopped on our floor, and this time I spoke your name, not because I thought you would answer, or that love could be reclaimed. I just needed these empty walls to hear what I should have known. The elevator stopped on our floor, and I finally faced the truth alone. The elevator stopped on our floor, where we once believed in more. For a moment I could feel your hand reaching for the door. Then the numbers started changing, and the old light carried on. The elevator stopped on our floor, but you were already gone. Now when midnight fills the hallway and the city lights burn low, I listen for that quiet bell, but I let the moment go. The elevator stopped on our floor. The elevator moved along. Moved along so Before we learned to let go, we knew every road through this town. The little cafe by the station, where the lights were always turned down. You would sit across the table with your coat around your chair and speak about a life together like we were almost there. We had nothing but the evening and a little borrowed time. Still I thought the world was waiting for your hand to stay in mine. Before we learned to let go, we held on like love was enough. We believed every promise and trusted the feeling in us. Before silence filled the doorway, before distance changed us slow, we were everything we wanted. Before we learned to let go. You moved into my apartment with one suitcase and a frame, a photograph from your mother, and a record without a name. We danced barefoot in the kitchen while the summer rain came down. There was no grand piano, just your laughter filling the house. We were careless with forever, because forever felt so near. We did not know that quiet changes could arrive from year to year. Before we learned to let go, we held on like love was enough. We believed every promise and trusted the feeling in us. Before silence filled the doorway, before distance changed us slow, we were everything we wanted. Before we learned to let go. Then the evenings grew much longer, though we sat in the same room. You would watch the rain in silence, I would pretend not to notice you. There were questions in your breathing, there were answers in my pride, and every word we never spoke moved another chair aside. Love was still there on the table, but we stopped reaching across. Two people can remain together while counting what they lost. Before we learned to let go, we held on like love was enough. We believed every promise and trusted the feeling in us. Before silence filled the doorway, before distance changed us slow, we were everything we wanted. Before we learned to let go. I remember your hand in winter, tucked beneath the sleeve of mine. I remember how you waited when I always needed time. You were patient with my shadows, you were gentle with my fears. But even faithful hearts grow tired of being lonely through the years. nearly gone. You still asked me how my day was. I still kissed you at the door. We kept performing all the motions that did not mean the same anymore. Maybe love did not betray us. Maybe we just lost the way. Maybe goodbye begins in moments no one thinks will make it stay. Before we learn to let go, we held on like love was enough. We believed every promise and trusted the feeling in us. Before silence filled the doorway, before distance changed us slow, we were everything we wanted. Before we learned to let go, before we learned to let go. You were home in every room. You were sunlight through the curtains. You were Sunday afternoon. And though time has moved between us, there is one thing I still know: I will always love who we were. Before we learned to let go, before the suitcase in the hallway, before the closing elevator door, before the perfume and the silence, we had something worth remembering for. Before we learned to let go, before we learned to let go. Before we learned to let go, before we learned to let go, before we learned to let go. We knew every road through this town, the little cafe by the station where the lights were always turned down. You would sit across the table with your coat around your chair and speak about There is a photograph beside the piano from the winter we first met. You were smiling toward the window. I was watching you instead. There were candles on the tables. There was snow against the glass. We were young enough to promise that the night would always last. Now the frame is worn and faded, but your eyes are still the same. Every time I touch that picture, the whole room speaks your name. The photograph beside the piano still holds the love we could not save. Two hearts standing close together before fear got in the way. The music ended years ago, but one old memory will not fade. In the photograph beside the piano, we still look like we stayed. You wore that dark burgundy dress with the silver at your ears. I wore confidence like armor, though you always saw my fears. You leaned your head against my shoulder as the last slow record played and whispered, "Do not let this moment become something time can take." I said nothing lasts forever. You said love could prove me wrong. Now forever lives in silence, and the picture carries on. The photograph music ended years ago, but one old memory will not fade. In the photograph beside the piano, we still look like we stayed. That picture room to room, from the old place to this one, through the evenings full of laughter, through the mornings without sun. It watched us build a life together. It watched the distance start to grow. It stood quietly on the bookshelf when we stopped saying what we knew. Every object keeps a story. Every room remembers sound. Even love we thought was over leaves its evidence around. The photograph beside the piano still holds the love we could not say. Two hearts standing close together before fear got in the way. The music ended years ago, but one old memory will not fade. In the photograph beside the piano, we still look like we stayed. Sometimes I turn the picture over so I will not see your face, but the empty space beside it only makes me feel your place. Sometimes I think I should remove it, let the past become the past. Then I hear your voice inside me saying, not everything must last. Maybe love is not a failure just because two people part. Maybe some nights live forever in the corners of the heart. The chandeliers burn low. Someone covered up the piano, but I could not make myself go. So I carried down the picture and I placed it on the keys for one last dance between the people we once were and used to be. Then I thanked you for the kindness, for the years and for the pain, for the woman in that picture who believed in love again. The photograph beside the piano still holds the love we could not save. Two hearts standing close together before fear got in the way. The music ended years ago, but one old memory will not fade. In the photograph beside the piano, we still look like we stayed. The photograph beside the piano does not ask me to pretend. It only shows that once we loved before we reached the end. And though I cannot live inside it, I will never be ashamed. In the photograph beside the piano, we were beautiful. beautiful that way. I returned it to the table as the first light touched the room. I should have asked you to stay when your suitcase touched the floor, when you stood beneath the hallway light with your hand against the door. You waited for a single word, a reason to believe, but I let my silence answer, and I watched you start to leave. I thought love would keep returning, no matter what I failed to say. I never knew a quiet moment could take everything away. I should have asked you to stay. I should have reached for your hand. I should have told you that losing you was never part of the plan. Instead, I stood there pretending my heart would be alright. I should have asked you to stay on the last night you were mine. The rain was running down the windows, the city shimmered far below. You said, give me one good reason why I should not let this go. There were years inside that question, there were tears you would not show, and every answer lived within me, but my pride would not let go. You did not need another promise, you only needed something true. But I was always saving words until there was no time for you. I should have asked you to stay. I should have reached for your hand. I should have told you that losing you was never part of the plan. Instead, I stood there pretending my heart would be alright. I should have asked you to stay on the last night you were mine. Table by the chair, you took the photograph beside us, then you placed it down again. Like even after all my distance, you could not erase what had been. You walked slowly toward the doorway, still hoping I might change, but I let the space between us grow too wide to rearrange. I should have asked you to stay. I should have reached for your hand. I should have told you that losing you was never part of the plan. Instead, I stood there pretending my heart would be alright. I should have asked you to stay. every night. If I could return to that hallway, I would not search for perfect words. I would simply say I love you and let the whole truth be heard. Nothing out of place, no perfume resting in the hallway, no reflection of your face. The elevator comes and leaves me, the piano closes every night, and I finally understand you in the loneliness you left behind. Some lessons come like morning after darkness has its way. Some truths arrive too late to give the heart another day. I should have asked you to stay. I should have reached for your hand. I should have told you that losing you was more than I could withstand. Instead I stood there pretending my heart would be alright. I should have asked you to stay on the last night you were mine. I should have asked you to stay, not forever, just until dawn, long enough to speak the feelings I had hidden for too long. Maybe love would still have ended, maybe you still would have gone, but you would have known I loved you before the final light came on. So tonight I speak into the silence what I could not say that day. You were never hard to love, I was only We spoke without saying anything across the candlelight. Your coffee had gone cold between us sometime after midnight. You watched the rain beyond the window, I watched your hands instead. Every truth we came to tell each other stayed somewhere in our heads. You asked me if I still was happy, I asked you what you meant. We both knew the real question, but neither one of us answered it. We spoke without saying anything and heard every word too clear. You looked at me like love was leaving, I looked away in fear. The silence filled the room between us till there was nowhere left to hide. We spoke without saying anything, and something in us died. The piano from the lounge below us played a slow, familiar tune. You said we used to dance to music, now we only shared a room. I tried to smile and change the subject. You touched the edge of your glass, then asked me when the love between us had become part of the past. I said every life has seasons. You said that is not what I asked. Sometimes people use soft language when the truth feels much too sharp. We spoke without saying anything and like love was leaving. I looked away in fear. The silence filled the room between us till there was nowhere left to hide. We spoke without saying anything, and something in us died. You said you missed the woman who once reached for you at night, the one who left the hallway lamp on and waited by the light. I said I missed the way you listened before every talk became another careful conversation where we both avoided blame. Then the rain grew louder and the chandelier burned low. We were standing at the ending, still afraid to let it show. We spoke without saying anything and heard every word too clear. You looked at me like love was leaving. I looked away in fear. The silence filled the room between us till there was nowhere left to hide. We spoke without saying anything, and something in us died. There was no broken glass, no angry voices through the walls, no suitcase thrown open, no picture made to fall. Just two people sitting quietly with the truth between their chairs, learning love can disappear while everything still looks the same. I wanted you to tell me there was still a road ahead. You wanted me to finally say the words I always left unsaid. But wanting is not speaking, and hope cannot survive when every honest feeling is kept locked up inside. You stood and closed the curtains, though the night was nearly gone. You said I cannot keep pretending that holding on is holding on. I reached to touch your shoulder, but my hand stopped in the air. It was the closest I had come to you in longer than I could bear. You turned as if you felt me, then you slowly looked away. We had one more chance to tell the truth, but silence chose to stay. We spoke without saying anything and heard every word too clear. You looked at me like love was leaving. I finally faced my fear. I said I never stopped loving you, I only forgot how to try. We spoke after saying nothing, but the truth had come too late that night. We spoke without saying anything until goodbye became the sound of your footsteps in the hallway and the elevator going down. The silence filled the room behind you like a tide I could not fight. We spoke without saying anything on our last unfinished night. The car stayed cold on the table. The candles faded one by one, and every word we should have spoken came to me after you were gone. We spoke without saying anything. We said more than we could bear. I heard you, I heard it all. Too late, too late, too late, too late. You called from the hotel lobby at 2:17. I almost let the telephone keep ringing because I knew that it was you. Your voice was softer than I remembered, but the silence felt the same. You said, I know I should not be here, then quietly spoke my name. For a moment all the distance fell away beneath that sound. You were standing in the building where our love had broken down. You called from the hotel lobby and asked if I was still awake. You said you had been thinking of the night we let love break. I wanted to say, come upstairs. I wanted to believe. You called from the hotel lobby and brought back everything in me. You said the rain had stopped outside, but your coat was soaking through. You had passed our old apartment and did not know what else to do. The pianist was closing, the candles had burned low. You said the room looked just like it did the evening you decided to go. I held the receiver closer, like your hand was in my own. It had been so long since hearing you had ever felt like home. You called from the hotel lobby and asked if I was still awake. You said you had been thinking of the night we let love break. I wanted to say, come upstairs. I wanted to believe. You called from the hotel lobby and brought back everything in me. You took a breath before you spoke. You said, I built a life without you, but some memories never close. You asked if I still kept the picture that once stood beside the keys. I looked across the darkened room and saw it by the piano staring back at me. I said, some things never leave us, though we put them out of sight. You whispered, maybe we were frightened more than we were wrong that night. You called from the hotel lobby and asked if I was still awake. You said you had been thinking of the night we let love break. I wanted to say, come upstairs. I wanted did not want another ending. I did not want another lie. But the heart can hear a future in the way someone says goodbye. So I asked you why you called me, why tonight after so long. You said because I finally learned that missing you was not moving on. Let you go. You called from the hotel lobby and asked if I was still awake. You said you had been thinking of the night we let love break. This time I said, come upstairs, there are things we need to say. You called from the hotel lobby and I did not turn away. You called from the hotel lobby with no promise in your hands, just a heart that had grown older and was ready to understand. Maybe love would not return to us, maybe dawn would make that clear. But when you called from the hotel lobby, I was finally ready to hear. The elevator started rising, the numbers changed one by one. I stood beneath the hallway light until the final bell had rung. The doors opened very slowly, and there you were again. There you were after all this time. No more silence, no more hiding. You stepped out of the elevator with the rain still on your coat. For a moment, neither one of us could find a word to hold. Your hair was touched with silver, mine had changed with passing years. But your eyes still knew the places where I used to hide my fears. You said the ballroom is still open, though they are putting out the light. Then you held your hand toward me and asked me for one dance that night. One last dance before the morning, one last song before the dawn. Let me hold the love we carry, even if the years have gone. We do not need to make a promise, we do not need to make it right. Just one last dance before the morning, before we walk back into life. The chandeliers were fading and the tables had been cleared. An old piano played so softly, it was almost hard to hear. You placed your coat across a chair, the way you used to do. And suddenly the empty ballroom felt like the night when I met you. You rested your hand hand on my shoulder, I felt the years begin to fall, somewhere between the first slow step and our shadows on the wall. One last dance before the morning, one last song before the dawn. Let me hold the love we carried, even if the years have gone. We do not need to make a promise, we do not need to make it right. Just one last dance before the morning, before we walk back into life. Cafe by the station door, the photograph beside the piano, and the apartment's wooden floor. I said, I remember everything, I only learned to hide it well. You smiled the way you used to, when you knew what I would never tell. Then you said, we were not foolish, we were unprepared. Love was real inside the silence, even when we left it there. One last dance before the morning, one last song before the dawn. Let me hold the love we carried, even if the years have gone. We do not need to make a promise, we do not need to make it right. Just one last dance before the morning, before we walk back into life. I wanted to ask where you were staying, I wanted to ask if you would stay. I wanted to build another future from the words we found that day. But your head rested against me, and the answer became clear. Some reunions are not beginnings, they are a gentler kind of farewell. So I did not speak of forever, I did not bargain with the past. I only held you a little closer, knowing every song must pass. Closed the final page and quietly left us two. You looked around the ballroom as the last candle lost its flame, then whispered, I am glad I came back, even if nothing stays the same. I said, some love does not return, but it never disappears. Touched my face with tenderness and smiled through quiet tears. One last dance before the morning, one last song before the dawn. Let me hold the love we carried, even if the years have gone. We do not need to make a promise, we do not need to make it right. Just one last dance before the morning, before we walk back stood together by the elevator like we had years before. You kissed my cheek and whispered, this time we said goodbye. Then the doors closed very slowly as the morning filled the sky. The morning found me by the window, watching your car leave the drive. I thought the ache would feel much sharper, but I only felt alive. Not because I did not love you, not because the night meant less, but some goodbyes arrive with mercy when two hearts have done their best. We could count the years as losses, we could name the things that changed, but love is not made worthless just because it could not stay. I will not call it wasted, I will not call it wrong. You gave me years of tenderness, and somewhere I belonged. Though we could not keep forever, though we could not make it last, I will not call it wasted just because it is the past. There were Sundays in the kitchen, there were winters by the fire, there were nights you held me closely when the world had left me tired. There were photographs and letters, there were songs we played too loud. There were moments when your loving made me brave enough to stand proud. Every room may lose its laughter, every candle meets the dark, but nothing that was truly given ever leaves without a mark. I will not call it wasted, I will not call it wrong. You gave me years of tenderness, and somewhere I belonged. Though we could not keep forever, though we could not make it last, I will not call it wasted just because it is the past. Some people leave you with a sorrow and still make your whole life wise. You taught me how to offer what I once was scared to show. And even though I learned too slowly, I am grateful that I know. And somewhere I belonged. Though we could not keep forever, though we could not make it last, I will not call it wasted just because it is the past. without beauty, even when we lost the way. So I will carry what was honest and let the rest fall away. I will not call it wasted. I will not call it wrong. I returned the empty glasses and I opened every shade. I moved the picture from the piano, but I did not hide the frame. I placed it gently in the drawer with the letters and the ring, not as proof that love had failed us, but as proof we had something. Maybe one day I will see it and no longer feel the pain. Only two young hearts believing they could shelter from the rain. I will not call it wasted. I will not call it wrong. You gave me years of tenderness, and somewhere I belonged. Oh, though we could not keep forever, though we could not make it last, I will not call it wasted just because it is the past. I will not call it wasted. There was meaning in it all, in the nights we held each other, in the times we let love fall. You were part of who I became. I was part of who you were. I will not call it wasted. I will call it what it was. It was love. It was real. It was ours for a while. The hallway no longer holds you. The elevator comes and goes. The perfume faded with the morning, but the gratitude still grows. Not because I did not love you, not because the night meant less, but some goodbyes arrive with mercy when two hearts have done their best. We could count the years as losses. We could When the morning finally came, I was standing by the glass, watching gold move through the city like a blessing on the past. The rain had left the windows, the clouds were opening slow, and for the first time since you left me, I did not ask where you would go. I could still feel our final dance. I could still hear what you said, but the memory felt much lighter in the quiet light ahead. When the morning finally came, I let the night release your name. I did not lose the love you gave me, I only let it change. No more waiting by the doorway, no more bargaining with pain. I found peace inside the ending when the morning finally came. The ballroom chairs were covered, the piano had gone still. Someone opened all the curtains and the daylight crossed the floor. I saw the place where we had turned through one last tender song, and I knew that loving someone does not mean you hold them on. Some hearts mean stay forever. Some arrive to make us grow. Some will teach us how to love, then teach us how to let them go. When the morning finally came, I let the night release your name. I did not lose the love you gave me, I only let it change. No more waiting by the doorway, no more bargaining with pain. I found peace inside the ending when the morning finally came. Perfume rested by the doorway, but I did not need it there. The photograph was in the drawer now. The suitcase had been moved, and every object that once hurt me had become a quiet truth. We were real, though we were temporary. We were kind, though we lost our way. And nothing honest must be broken just because it could not stay. When the morning finally came, I let the night release your name. I did not lose the love you gave me, I only let it change. No more waiting by the doorway, no more bargaining with pain. I found peace inside the ending when the morning finally came. I used to think the closure would arrive with one last word, a perfect explanation or an answer I had never heard. The closure was the sunlight moving softly through the room, and knowing I could miss you without living in the wound. I will always hear your laughter in the records that we played. I will always see the young us in the choices that we made. But I will not make a home now in a night that had to end. I can honor what you were to me and still begin Downstairs, the hotel lobby was beginning another day. Fresh flowers stood beneath the chandelier where your shadow used to wait. The elevator opened, but I did not look behind. I stepped outside into the morning with no answer left to find. The city sounded different, every street seemed washed anew. There was life beyond our ending, there was love beyond me and you. When the morning finally came, I let the night release your name. I did not lose the love you gave me, I only let it change. No more waiting by the doorway, no more bargaining with pain. I found peace inside the ending surviving every silence, for forgiveness.